Okay, ji. Ladies and gentlemen, respected speaker, online participant, and guest in office, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to the Power of Mind, shifting perspective from negative to positive. This webinar having a specific goals and objective, why we are conducting this session and why we need this councils. So before we have a very expert speaker, those will share their insights. They will explain the different aspect of this topic. But I just would like to summarize that why it is important. As we know that there are so many confusion in every field, in every sector, children are facing, even every common citizens are facing. In that critical moment, that critical situation, we need a kind of rethinking to revisit us that help us to solve that particular problem that we are facing at the moment. So that's why we are conducting this, webinar to listen what are the options we have in a difficult situation when we are in panic situation, what are the strategies we have. As we know that there are the motivations technique is going on, there are the counseling techniques is going on, that is very very important for our future, for our children, for our growth. Sometime in we are facing the situation like you know that we are in a trouble situations, we are in a very critical situations. So in that specific situation, what are the options, what we need to do, what are uh, the kind of available option we have, what we need to explore it, all this dimensions, the sector we have, we need to explore. For this we have lined up a very seasoned expert, those will share their opinion on the topic, starting with I would we have more speaker, but they still have not joined us. So I would start with Miss Nurulan. She's a director training for Alliance Mind Councils. Uh, Ma'am, what would be your thought on this specific topic?
Thank you so much. First of all, I want to share a few aspects as I am working. I have experience of human resource manager as well, and also I'm a corporate trainer. So this is a very wonderful topic because I have seen most of the people they are facing these issues, but what happened is they are not capable to address these issue. There are certain reason. As I have noticed, I provide counseling to my employees as well. What happened is that our mind has capability to shift our energy according to the surroundings. If we are daily sitting with the people who are talking about their negativity in their lives or obstacles in their lives, so your mind will automatically shift toward those energies. So nowadays we have to be very careful that people who we are choosing to sit with, it also give a big and huge impact in your personalities as well. And if someone who is let's say facing these anxiety issue, or sometimes they have facing that I'm not capable of achieving these goals, so they have to sit and talk to themselves first, because only you, if you are not sincere with yourself, so you will not be capable to get rid of these thoughts which haunt you basically. So usually
Right.
in today's era, everyone has to be careful whenever they get up in the morning. Just talk about yourself, about the positive things in you, and you are surrounded by the positive and blessings, because it will
Right.
all give a very positive impact in you. So that is a
Right.
very actually lengthy and huge topic, but let's see how it goes.
Right. Nurul Ansab, it's something that is very very pinching in a situation when you are in facing anxiety. In the most of the cases, people supposed to quit. They tried different option like the
Yeah.
suicide kind of things, and so in this specific situation, what you think, how they can shift this situation towards another energy or another transformational role that is a bit positive, you can say.
So what happened is when anyone reach me, because I am also an NLP coach as well. So they talk about their anxiety and also about their issues they're facing in their life. So my first question I always ask to them that what is your daily routine? You know, those days that we so much juggle up in our tasks. So we just do a task, we go home and we sleep. So I always ask them, why don't you do exercise? Why don't you do
Right.
running? Why? Because there are because we are human, so it's is also we have to treat it as a machine which need care as well. Our brain and body, they both are connected. So
Right.
what you need to do is that we have to just if they when they talk about these that I am near to committing suicide, or I will quit my career or whatever, so I just ask them to take 30 days this process, go through from this process and then come to me. So in that span of time, I ask them to they need to walk on the road but barefoot. Why? Because the earth, from the earth we get positive energies. Nowadays,
Right.
in today's world, what we do is we are wearing very you can say branded shoes, expensive shoes, which also a barrier to release those negative energies. So I ask them to follow these exercise, also just make your routine and share with me your plan. And also daily there is a practices which we ask them to talk about the best positive three or two things you faced in your past. Talk about
Right.
them and practice that whenever you feel such kind of any suicidal or any other issues, or you see that you will be going to attempt those, so just think about those moments. And also aggressive exercise,
Right.
but it
Very
vary
well.
from person to person, you know.
Right. Yeah, very well said that it varies. And earlier you were talking about that one should spare time for yourself. In
Yeah.
that specific time, he must explore the good thing, the good energies that lies in maybe in the past or maybe in the coming days. Yeah, moving head towards Nurul Ansab, I would request you to stay with us because we have yeah, questions session. So you need to respond the questions coming up from the live mainstream social media and from the group side. Thank you very much for your opinion. We have Aksa Khan. She's artificial intelligence, a student of Belgium University. Aksa, welcome you. And what would be your thought on this specific topic? As you know, there is a motivation needed in every segment, especially for the student in their career counseling and the kind of thing. Sometimes they are panic keeping the situation of the country, economic growth and kind of, unemployment things. How the student can turn their negative approach towards the positive, and what are the options they have?
Sure, I would like to add my take on this topic. Um, I believe that it varies person to person, and you need to really work as a student, you need to really work on your mindset from the very beginning. So, like, if you haven't trained yourself or your mind to handle crisis or handle setbacks or handle failures, then your future is going to be like a lot difficult for you to handle.
Right.
And how you can train your mind as a student is, I feel like when you're young, you have so much positive energy that you can channel it into good areas. So maybe channeling your energy in activities that actually sort of build you and make your mind go towards wise options is one thing. Like I feel like a lot of negativity inside a student comes when they realize they're not doing something, or maybe they're being behind the race. So if
Right.
your day-to-day activities revolve around connecting with people, or maybe investing your time in something that is beneficial for your career and your growth and your intellect, that can bring a lot of positivity, because you are going to be hanging out with people who produce, radiate positive energy, who give ideas, who talk about ideas. And I think that should be your fun category as a student.
Right.
rather than wasting your teenage and your adulthood in activities that kind of like look appealing, but not very beneficial for your mindset shifting and all of that. And one more thing that I would like to add is that your environment really matters. So if you hang out with a group of friends that is not adding to your growth, then you're around the wrong people. Because as a teenager or as a young person or as a student, we like to deny it, but we are greatly sort of affected by our circles. So no matter how much we deny it, it's proven, it's science that the younger people are more influenced with the peers that they hang around.
Right.
So having a good circle is one of the biggest asset that one can do.
Right. Very well said that in a panic, in a difficult moment, you need to come out for the different activity as mentioned by Aksa Khan. That is very important. This will help you to, change your mind. This will help you to focus your things in a more broader way. Thank you very much, Aksa. We will come back to you in our Q&A session. We have more speakers to talk about this. मोहम्मद शमून पाशा आप मेंबर हैं माइंड अलायंस काउंसिल्स के और इसके अलावा प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर एंड एम्ब्रेस वर्ल्ड वाइड शमून साहब वेलकम यू
Thank you very much, sir. Am I properly audible right now?
Yes, you are audible. Shamoon, you listen, Nouralan and Aksa Khan, they are talking about earlier, Nouralan was explaining that one should spare time for his or herself. So in that specific time, he must think something more innovative that help us to, cop this negative movements, negative thinking. Aksa was talking about, she was of the view that activity is the most important part that help to makes you more focused, and your choices. What is your thought how we can cop this shifting perspective from negative to positive? What are the options?
Thank you very much, Shabir sir. I would start by saying your beliefs, either positive or negative, helpful or hurtful, it totally determines what you do and how you do it. Brian Tracy says that. Before going to that part about the positivity and your environment, you have mentioned one point about the suicides as well. So I'll start with that one. As WHO says that 280 million people are depressed. So that is a small fraction out of the 8.23 billion that we know of. That means that a lot of us are not actually depressed. We are in different stages. Maybe we lack confidence, maybe we are anxious about something, or we are just totally scared. So a lot of people, they consider them depressed, but we are not. So coming to the suicide part directly, 700,000 to 800,000 people commit suicide yearly. And my own hometown, Chitral, which is known for suicide, and the age group from 15 years up to 29 years, which I fall into, but I'm not being a victim because I'm here discussing with you fine people. So firstly, identifying what is the negative part. If a person wants to know if negative or not, if my thought, if my mind is running on the proper track, or am I being negative? So for that part, I have been putting some of the points into just to justify the 3 minutes that are allowed by Mind Council. Let me put into it. Firstly is the constant complaining. If you hear someone constantly complaining, or you observe your own self that you're complaining about something, you're problem oriented, you've been given a neutral situation, but you're just taking out all of the negatives from it. That means that your mind is not working correctly. Because if you try it or take out all the positives, we have something in it for us. Then coming to the second part, which is being pessimistic. And if a pessimist person is sitting around with you, I'll come to that part again as well, obviously, with the surrounding. But if you're a pessimist, you cannot go ahead. You're not optimistic at all. You have ultimately a lack of hope, and lack of hope makes you commit suicide or burglary or all of the negative things that leads to it. Then we would say the negative self-talk. People who say, I can't every day, they are obviously degenerating themselves. They're decomposing their mind. They're making themselves think that they cannot do it. Yeah, I cannot score well, or I cannot get that position. I'm not capable for it. I cannot speak in front of 1,000 people because I'm too shy. If you say can't, then you cannot. Because there is a guy who says that respective thoughts in your mind repetitively, they make a groove in your mind. You form a
Right.
groove. You're repeating all of the negative things by saying that I cannot do it. I cannot do this. I cannot do that. I'm not capable. I'm nothing. And they said when you get repetitive thought like this, you're actually deepening the groove in your mind. And that groove turns into your personality. You're that I cannot do guy then. You cannot do, obviously, if your mind says no to it.
Right.
Then would come the compliments rejecting part. If you feel yourself or somebody else, if you're complimenting them and they're like, oh, yeah, it's all right. It's all fine, man. Oh, I'm nothing. Or just seeking validation. Oh, do you know that this shirt does not look good on me? The thing that I'm presenting, it's not good, is it? This person is seeking validation because this person is not sure of himself or herself. Obviously, in our childhood, our parents were strict to us about it. And I'm sure that everyone who's listening, their parents might be saying, sit with good people, have good company. That matters a lot because the
Right.
people who are around us, if they can mess with your brain so much that you won't even know and you'll be falling into the trap. Why are people drug addicts? Especially, this is my research. My research is based on it. Young boys, they are drug addicts now. Why? Because of the people they have around. If they sit with nice people who do productive stuff, they won't be drug addicts at all because they would be,
Very well
even if
said.
they try it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
very
if
well
they
said,
try
Shamoon.
it, they won't. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
No,
Even
no,
if
you are
they go through it, I'm
yeah, yeah.
carrying on. I'm
Carry on,
carrying
carry on.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do stop me when I'm done. When my time is over, do stop me, please.
Okay.
So, yeah. So with this kind of positive approach and positive people around you, you can be that person. If there are 5 millionaires sitting with you who are productive, who know what to do, can do business, do good stuff, you are the fifth one. You're the sixth one. And in a while, you will be one. If there are good people, fine people, just like this audience right here and all of the members, I can be one like you, productive guy. I won't be doing drugs because I see Mr. Shabir is wearing a nice suit and he's, doing a productive thing. So I'll try to be just like him because I'm accompanying him. I'm sitting with him. So that's how it affects. So I totally agree with Aksa Khan and Nurulain on this.
Yeah,
After
very,
this,
very well, Shamoon.
yes, sir.
You come up with a very, innovative ideas and explain this situation that the good people
Yeah,
around really helps you out for the difficult
exactly.
times. It will help you out to, towards the positive thinking. So again,
Exactly.
it's the choices. The choices is your own, and you have to decide it what you need, what makes you more perfect for this kind of situation. We will come back to you more. I would ask you to please stay with us because we will
Thank you.
have a
Thank you for
question,
listening. Sure, sir.
and I would love that
Sure.
you responded the question. So next we have Rana Umar Farooq, and he's our director webinars. And Rana Sab, what is your thought on this specific topic as you listening as our speakers that are talking about? Nurulain was of the view that they should spare time again, and Aksa Khan was talking about the activity is the most important part that help us to cope this situation. Again, the both speakers and the Mr. Shamoon was talking about the people around you that is really matter to copying up the such situation and creating the such situation. If you are in the community of having kind of bad activities, they will put you in a kind of negative thinking, negative acts. What is your thought?
Uh, I would like to speak in Urdu. Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah, is okay with us because we have international participant and audience, so maybe that is not okay with them. But anyhow, go ahead.
Yes, this is again the start of negative mindset and positive mindset. असल में हम जब अपनी एबिलिटीज से बाहर निकलने की कोशिश करते हैं ना, तो उसमें फिर हमें प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं।
Right.
सबसे पहले मेरा ख्याल है हमें जो सबसे पहले जो पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट सिखाया जाता है ना, वो हमारी माँ की तरफ से सिखाया जाता है, वालदा की
Right.
तरफ।
सही।
तो जब भी कोई चीज नेगेटिवली परसीव कर रहे होते हैं तो वालदा कहती है नहीं ऐसा नहीं कहते, ऐसा नहीं करते। तो वो
सही।
ये एक मेरे ख्याल में जाती तो मेरी राय है कि एक बुनियाद आपकी बननी चाहिए, क्योंकि हम में से कई लोग ऐसे होंगे जो वालदैन भी के रोल में होंगे, कई ऐसे होंगे जो टीचर्स के रोल में होंगे। मिसाल के तौर पे घर में एक बच्चा अब दीवार पे पेंट कर रहा है, अपने पेन के साथ राइटिंग कर रहा है। अब बीइंग अ पेरेंट हम क्या करें? नेगेटिव माइंड सेट तो ये है कि उसे डांट दे फौरन, ये क्या क्या कर रहे हो भाई, ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए आपको, ऐसा नहीं करते, तो सारी दीवार खराब कर।
राइट।
पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट क्या है कि यार तुम तो बहुत बड़े आर्टिस्ट हो, तुम तो कमाल की ड्राइंग्स करते हो, आओ इसे पेपर पे करते हैं, आओ किसी ड्राइंग्स पे पेज पे या किसी पेपर पे करते हैं। तो उसको आप वही डायरेक्शन दे रहे हैं पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट के साथ।
राइट।
मैं ये समझता हूं कि अगर आप पॉजिटिविटी क्रिएट करना चाहते हैं अपने इर्द गिर्द के लोगों में, वो हमें घर से शुरू करना पड़ेगा। एज ए पेरेंट्स, एज ए एल्डर ब्रदर, हमें इससे शुरू करना पड़ेगा। मिसाल के तौर पे आजकल हमारे जो बच्चे हैं घरों में, वो हर वक्त मोबाइल लेके बैठे रहते हैं, और
राइट।
वो प्राउडली हमें बताते हैं जी मैं अब सेकंड लेवल पे पहुंच गया हूँ, अब मैं थर्ड लेवल पे पहुंच गया हूँ, मैं फोर्थ पे, फिफ्थ पे। वो हमें बड़ा प्राउडली बता रहा होता है बच्चा कि मैं गेम में इस तरह से ग्रो कर रहा हूँ। तो अगर हम अब एक तो ये कि उससे मोबाइल छीन लें, उसे डांटें और उसे कहें कि नहीं आज जाके स्टडी करो। दूसरा यह है कि हम पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट के साथ उसे क्या कहें, वाह भाई वाह, बहुत अच्छा काम किया, तुम तो बड़े इंटेलेक्चुअल हो, चौथे पांचवें लेवल पे आओ, इसी लेवल पे हम अपना मैथ क्रॉस करते हैं, इसी
राइट।
लेवल ऑफ स्टडीज में जाते हैं, इसी लेवल पे और किसी एरियाज में जाते हैं। तो मेरी ओपिनियन ये है कि जैसे वो लोग सब लोगों ने एग्जांपल दी कि हमारा माहौल, हमारे यार दोस्त, मेरा ख्याल है वो बहुत बाद में हम डेवलप कर पाते हैं। लेकिन अगर हम पॉजिटिविटी अगर हम घर से सिखाएं, मुझे नहीं मुझे अंदाजा है और रिलीजन के भी लोग होंगे, लेकिन हर रिलीजन में पॉजिटिविटी सिखाई जाती है। हम खुद जो इस्लाम से बिलोंग करते हैं, वहां भी हर चीज हमें ये बताई गई है कि अल्लाह पे यकीन रखें, अल्लाह पे तवक्कल रखें, स्टे पॉजिटिव, लोगों के बारे में आप डाउट ना रखें, लोगों के बारे में अज्यूम ना करें। और जब मैं सीए, एसीसी और बाकी स्टूडेंट्स को मैं पढ़ाता हूँ, तो वहां भी मैं यही कहता हूँ, नेवर अज्यूम एनीथिंग नेगेटिव, नेवर
राइट।
नेवर टेक नेगेटिव अजम्पशन अबाउट एनीथिंग। इवन बस मैं बात इस पे खत्म करता हूं। हम जब एग्जाम में जाते हैं तो हमारे पास जब कोई क्वेश्चन आता है, तो स्टूडेंट खुद से अज्यूम करने लग जाते हैं कि शायद इस क्वेश्चन में एग्जामिनर ये पूछ रहा है, शायद ये पूछ रहा है, शायद ये पूछ रहा है। हम नेगेटिव
राइट।
अज्यूम करके हम मल्टीपल जहन में लाते हैं और राइट आंसर नहीं कर पाते। भाई अगर एग्जामिनर ने कुछ पूछना होता तो उसने लिख दिया वही पूछ रहा है। तो इसलिए मैं ये कहना चाह रहा हूं, सिर्फ एग्जाम में नहीं बल्कि हमें पूरी जिंदगी में वी शुडंट टेक नेगेटिव assumption about anything, about any person, about job, about country, about religion. Accept the people as they are and always think positive about everyone. Thank you.
Right, very well said, Umar. You explain it very beautifully. कि हमें we need to start with from our homes, then comes our institution and our surrounding. But Umar, I would a bit, differ from your point that definitely the brought up we have, it matters. But the situation, as we were talking about earlier, Mr. Shamoon was talking about that compliment. When somebody passing a compliment for you, you must don't reject it immediately. Must feel that if it is passing the compliment, maybe things exist in me. You need to explore. That is very important, as you were mentioning that you must go for the positive thing. But the cases like uh, we say it's talking about the suicide kind of things, it comes when school, college, and university ages. We facing the difficulties. Then come their career, stages. People are panic. They are very negative. They are suffocated, and the only option they feel that they thinking about to quit. So we need to, cope this phenomena. How we, I would seek your opinion for in a minute or two. How we cope this phenomena, this trend, this mindset towards the positive energy.
Can I talk?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Umar,
देखिए,
I'm talking to you.
जी जी बिल्कुल ठीक है। देखिए हम अक्सर 20 साल, 30 साल, 40 साल के भी हो जाते हैं ना, जब कभी हमें कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है ना, तो हम सबसे पहले अपने मेंटोर के पास भागते हैं। और मैं
Right.
जिंदगी में फील किया है कि हम 80% हम में से जो लोग हैं वो अपने पेरेंट्स की तरफ भागते हैं कि यार मैं अपने वालिद से मशवरा कर लेता हूँ, मैं अपनी वालदा से मशवरा
Right.
कर। जब उसकी शादी हो जाती है वो कहता है मैं अपनी वाइफ से मशवरा कर लेता हूँ। हमें वी नीड अ मेंटोर इन ओवर लाइफ एट एवरी स्टेज। whenever we are facing any difficulty, whether it is relating to job, whether it is relating to any other aspect, we have someone to whom we
Right.
that matter। एक्चुअली मैं आपको बताता हूँ, यहाँ जिक्र हुआ था खुदकुशी वगैरह का, ये तब होता है जब आदमी आइसोलेशन में चला जाता है, जब उसको कोई मिलता नहीं डिस्कशन करने के लिए, जब उसको मिलता नहीं कोई बात करने के लिए। when we are with friends, even they are having a negative mindset or positive mindset, if we are having friends, I think the person who is enjoying a good friends, whether they are having positive habits or negative, वो खुदकुशी की तरफ नहीं जाता, at least he is
Right.
enjoying in some context। तो हमें हमारे पास दोस्त भी होने चाहिए, और सबसे पहले हमारे पास फैमिली में ऐसे मेंबर्स होने चाहिए जो पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट रखते हो। देखें,
Right.
हम जैसे अब फैमिली की बात करते हैं, तो हम जब कभी भी अपने वालिद या वालदा के पास जाएं, उनके घर में जितने मर्जी इश्यूज हों, जब हम अपना इश्यू लेके जाते हैं, हमेशा हमें पॉजिटिव सोल्यूशन बताते हैं।
Right.
कभी देखा कि मेरी वालिद या वालदा हैविंग अ लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स एट होम, having financial issues, having other issues, but whenever we go to our parents for advice, whenever we are go to wife, whenever we go to our elder brother, जब भी हम कोई उनसे एडवाइस लेने की कोशिश करते हैं, आपने ये देखा होगा, मैं और आप बेशक अपनी जितनी मर्जी टेंशन परेशानी में बैठे हों, लेकिन
Right.
जब हमारे पास एडवाइस लेने आता है, तो हम अपनी पॉजिटिविटी निकाल के उसको गाइड करते हैं। तो मेरा ख्याल है अ पर्सन शुड नॉट गो इन आइसोलेशन, स्टे इन कांटेक्ट विद पेरेंट्स, विद वाइफ, विद फ्रेंड्स, एंड ऑलवेज फाइंड आउट कि क्या मुझे, इसीलिए कहते हैं ना कि मशवरा करना बहुत जरूरी है। जब भी आप whenever you are in a dilemma, so you need to seek suggestions, advices from your elders, your friends, when you are having a different alternatives and different
Right.
पॉजिटिव्स इन योर, जब सामने पॉजिटिव्स होंगे तो आप क्यों खुदकुशी के लिए जाएंगे, आप क्यों।
Very well said, Umar. Earlier, one of our speaker was talking and of the view that activity is the most important because you are in a panic situation and you are staying at home. So this will help you more towards your negative approach, negative acts. When you come out for any activity with hang out with your friend and a kind of people that help you uh, to listen you well. So it will definitely help you. It will turn your energy towards some positive thing, positive goal, and it will make you more focused. We will come back to you, Umar, and stay with us. We have Miss Gulu Gayatri from Indonesia. Ma'am, you hope you are listening as well. Maybe she has not joined us at the moment. Waqar Sahab, we have a speaker from Indonesia, so make sure that she's in the meeting because still she's not in the meeting. So next we have Rita Amjad Saiba. Ma'am, welcome करूंगा मैं आपको इस सेशन में, और luckily you are listening the speakers on this specific topic as your expertise was very similar like that the career counseling are the kind of things. So the speaker we have, they were talking about the activity, they were talking about the friend, they were talking about some to spare time for themselves. These things help them to shift their negative approach toward the positive approach. So guide us that in a teenage, in a child age, they have a very limited community, expect their family and a kind of thing. What are the most specific area that we should need to focus, how we need to train our children? As the Umar was talking about, the mother is the first mentor that are teaching us well. But if we are doing negative, she is stopping us. Don't do that and don't kind of things. What is your point of view on this? And then we have a very seasoned expert, Dr. Nurul Huda, and Munse Mazid we will listen about it. So
Assalamu alaikum. So I was listening to everyone and I have noted down a few points. I just want to add on It's
Right.
not that I don't agree with them. I agree with them, but I just want to add on a few points. For example, having a positive peer group.
Right.
Okay. Most of the children are aware of whatever we are talking about. Thanks to social media,
Right.
they do have a positive peer group. Okay. Lekin, on the other hand, when you do not have a positive environment at home, okay, and you're going through traumatic experiences at home, that positive peer group won't help.
Right.
Okay? Because you're spending most of the time at home. Agar aapki, if your energy at home is not positive, you will take that negative energy somewhere else.
Right.
If we don't have that relationship with our parents, जिस तरह राणा साहब बात कर रहे थे कि that we run to our parents. No, a lot of people don't run to their parents.
Right.
He might have a different experience. I'm sharing my experience. I don't disagree with him, but there are mostly there are parents who don't talk to their children, who don't have time for their children. I remember in olden days, olden times, people used to sit down with their children, tell them stories, talk to them.
Right.
But because of social media, entertainment, and so many other things, everyone is lost in their own world.
Right.
They don't have time for each other. They don't give time to their children. That is a big dilemma that we are facing, that we are giving birth to children and just sending them off to schools just because everyone is sending them off to school.
Right.
Okay? We do not sit and think the reason, why did I have this child?
Right.
And if we had a traumatic experience with our parents, how am I going to be different? Because blueprinting ho jati hai na? We blueprint whatever
Right.
our parents did to us. However, we were traumatized. We blueprint the same process. If a child is looking at his father beating up the mother, theek hai, that boy is going to follow that trend.
Right.
Blueprinted, हाँ, बहुत कम ratio. Very little people come in, take it seriously that this is not right. I'm not going to do what my father is doing. But mostly we see that this is going on and on and on. Same goes, whatever girls are watching their mothers do, they're not going to speak up for
Right.
themselves. Okay? We need to give children awareness on these points. You need to go and talk to your parents. You
Right.
make your parents listen. And especially the parents. Last time also I spoke about this. I'm going to speak again. What we need to do is reach out to the parents that they need to change their parenting styles. They're not supposed to be too hard or too soft. Both things have negative outcomes. So we
Right.
have to have a very balanced way that we can talk to our children and create that environment at home.
Right.
And Islam की बात की थी, I don't know किसने बात की थी, positive mindset. थोड़ा सा मैं इसको ना एक
Yeah, please.
open उसमें करना चाहूंगी कि Islam talks about jihad akbar and asghar. ठीक है, तो बड़ा jihad
Right.
ये है कि you fight with your own self. That's a bigger jihad. That is how I explain it to myself, thinking of how Islam puts it, fighting
Right.
with your negative thoughts and fighting with yourself. That is what Islam tells us. And mindset, we're talking about mindset. Migration की हम लोग बात करते हैं, we want to shift, we want to go from here to America, here to UK. When staying here and changing your mindset is migration, if we look at it in a deeper way. So these were a few things that came to my mind that I wanted to talk about.
Thank you very much, Amrit Saba. You explain very beautifully and contribute to this session to make it more interactive. And we are lucky to have you in this session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We have, I would like to just mention, this session is going live on the social media platform. We are about to go in a Q&A session after this keynote speaker, Dr. Nurul Huda. She's the acting chairperson of this council and expert in IELTS training and lectures. Ma'am, welcome you. You have listening us well.
I have listened to the various point of views, and I'm very happy that our members have put in effort in it. So being a science person and a medical background, I'm going to talk about the science behind it as well. And I'm going to put a light on it because I have the responsibility being acting as a special director. So don't consider it as a speech because it's going to have lots of dimensions in it. So I believe it's both a privilege and a responsibility to speak about a force that shapes destinies, define outcomes, and drives human evolution. That is the mindset. The world around us is rapidly changing, but it is the world within us, our mindset, that determines whether we adapt, thrive, or collapse. Now, we should talk about its understanding. Mindset is not just an attitude. It's a neural framework, a pattern of beliefs that governs our reaction, choices, and outcomes. I believe psychologists suggest that there are two types of mindset. The first one is the fixed one, in which one believes that the abilities and intelligence are static. The other one is the growth mindset, in which we believe that the development can be made into the mindset. So the later where transformation begins. When we shift from a fixed to a growth mindset, we stop fearing failures and begin learning from it. Now, human brain has neuroplasticity, the ability to recognize itself by forming new neural connections. So when we change how we think, we are literally rewiring our brain. Negative thinking activates the amygdala, the brain's threat detection center, that keeps us in a state of stress, releasing cortisol, weakening our immune system, and narrowing our vision, both literally and mentally. But when we adopt to a positive mindset, we engage the prefrontal cortex, our brain center for rational thought, planning, and emotional regulation. This activates the dopamine system, releasing dopamine and serotonin, which I think everyone should know. These are the neurochemicals that boost our mood, creativity, and resilience. In other words, shifting from negative to positive, it's not just feel good, it's biological optimization.
Right.
Now, let me ask you this. What if the obstacle in front of you was the very thing shaping your greatness? That is what reframing does over here. For example, it transforms from I failed into I learned. This is too much for me into this is stretching me into someone more stronger. So this is not about denial of the problem in front of you. This is a deliberate redirection. The positive reframing doesn't erase pain. It gives us a purpose to move ahead.
Right.
In trauma recovery, cognitive behavioral therapy, which is CBT, uses this very principle, helping individuals challenging their limiting thoughts and replace them with empowering ones. The brain then follows the new script. So as a special director of the Alliance Mind Empowerment Council, I say this with conviction. We are not victims of our thought. We are the authors of them. So let us not only shift our mindset, but become the catalysts for mindset revolution in families, in organizations, and nations. Because we change our perspective, we change our power. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Nurul Huda. You explained it very beautifully. Before I would go for the audience question, I would have a questions for you, and of course for other speakers too. As earlier, everybody was talking about there are the certain situation and the scenarios that people are facing in this situation. They have that they try different options they have, and most of the time when they are in a panic situation, they're supposed to quit rather to effort or to continue to work or struggle more. What would be your suggestion in this panic if somebody is facing the panic situation? What are the options you would suggest they need to adopt? As earlier speaker was talking about the activity, the time, the friend, the people around, the whole listener. So, what would be your suggestion on this specific how they cope this situation? Dr. Nurulhuda, you are listening us?
Yes, I've heard you have talked with me. So I believe changing mindset has to be taught from the early stages. A child has to be taught that it's the negative thinking that drives us to negativity. If you think positively
Right.
in a situation, that is going to give you the force to thrive, not to collapse. So I believe
Dr. Noor, your video is missing, so we need to release your video in a edited form. So if you please switch on your camera.
Yeah, I hope I'm visible now.
Yeah, now visible. Thank you.
Well, according to me, psychology has to be taught in early days of the school at the primary level, teaching the student to manage their anger, because when a child grows, it has lots of hormones in it. So to cope up with the hormones, you need to be taught the anger management, the anxiety management. So you need to know either you are angry or you are anxious or you are in a depressive state. So the knowledge has to be given to a child at a primary level, or if it's not possible at that level, even at a high school. You need to tell the child that this is how you are feeling. You need to know your feelings first, and then you have to cater them. Anger management, anxiety management should be taught to a child at a very early stage, and then we can drive them to become a better individual. I believe this is a science. It has to be taught.
Right. So
I
we
would
are
like
opening
to
up.
add to this point as well, if you permit.
Yeah, go ahead, Shamoon.
All right. So, as just like Dr. Noor also spoke about it, and Miss Amrit also talked about something, situations at home, which are really vital for a child. A traumatic childhood leads to these kind of depressed, ill-confident, low self-esteem males or females in their youth. And relating to this point that you have mentioned, some people in everyday life, day to day, sometimes they are in situations where they panic because of the surrounding or because of something happened around them. To make sure that you do not panic at that point, you have to be a good listener as well. Because sometimes you just don't understand the perspective of someone and you're just reacting to it. So, just finding that silver lining in somebody else's perspective, trying to step into their shoes, you would understand the situation better. And another point I would add is focusing on the bigger picture. Why is this happening? What's the outcome of it? What if I react in a bad or a good way to it? What would come out of it? After that is setting a goal for it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
carry on, Shamoon. Yes.
All right. After that, adding a goal to it. Like, okay, people are, ma'am, okay, Dr. Nurul Huda is on my screen right now. If you want to say something, I'll stop here.
No, I just want to say that it has to be
All right.
taught to a child that you have to delay reacting. If you have some sort of situation, don't act at that point. Delay it, understand the position, and then give your opinion. What happens at our culture that we react at the very moment, and we don't know that delaying the process of the reaction cools down your emotional system. Your hormones comes down and your rational system boots later, and then you realize that this is not the thing you have to do it at that moment. So calming down your hormones, thinking rationalization, and not acting at that given point is going to make sense. For example, if you are angry, just sit down, have a glass of water, and then think about it and then react. You should not stop your reaction, but delay it. That is going to help you out. Yeah.
Yes, I agree to
Right.
that, obviously. And just like I also mentioned, when you are trying to figure out somebody else's perspective, you're delaying the reaction. And one thing more, obviously, somebody doing a positive work or having a positive attitude towards doing something is always, the outcome is always better than the negative approach to it. Reaction, I would agree to it. Early childhood and mid-aged youth, especially, they should be taught about emotional intelligence. I'm sure, and I agree with one point Miss Amrit has put over here about the situations at home. Not everyone is blessed to have that kind of connection with their parents.
Right.
And sometimes, most of the times, you cannot share a lot of stuff that you can share with a peer or a friend or a colleague to your mother or your father. So I feel like that also determines the emotional intelligence people have. So emotional intelligence should be taught in this manner, that you don't react to something in a negative way just because you're panicking, but to understand the situation better, listen to the other perspective, and then react with a positive attitude. That's what I
Right.
wanted to add.
Miss
Thank you.
Amrit, you have a point of view on it. You were raising hands, so please chip into this discussion.
Yes, I would just want to add on again, not denying any of whatever Shamoon and Nurul Huda said. How are we going to, आपने जो सवाल पूछा था, that was how are they going to do it? So
Right.
emotions need to be channelized. Okay? What we're going
Right.
to teach them is how to channelize those emotions. Nurul Huda had a very beautiful point that our culture is teaching us to react. Okay?
Right.
When a person needs to respond instead of react. We have been listening to this point, okay? Think and speak. Think and act. But we're not doing that. We don't think. We are so spontaneous. जुगतों में चलता है पंजाबी में चलता
Right.
है but otherwise one needs to stop and think what the other person is saying. उसके बाद they need to respond instead of reacting. I would say
Right.
when a person is feeling angry, how would he channelize that emotion? Shamoon said about emotional intelligence. Channelizing that emotion is very important. What we do while channelizing it is we scream, we will misbehave, we will, I don't know how everyone does it their own way. So all you need to do is how Nurul Huda said, stop, but
Right.
keep that emotion in for that time, and then keeping an intention, channelize that emotion somehow or the other. Nurul ne je baat ki thi ke activities. Keeping
Right.
in mind that I was angry, I have that emotion inside. Now I'm going to let it out. We have an intention for everything. Now I'm going to take a shower. Now I'm going to eat. Now I'm going to this. I'm going to do that. So we have an intention. Intentionally telling ourselves that now I'm going to let out this emotion. Okay. How? We can dance, we can exercise, we can ground ourselves, we can do breathing exercises. So all these things come into that. These are tools that are given to us. And we can channelize our emotions, negative emotions especially, through
Right.
these. तो पानी पीने का जैसा Nurul Huda ने बोला कि we can drink water, sit down and drink water. And if while drinking that water, we're thinking that I'm just letting out this energy. I don't want to keep it in. I'm just letting out this energy. believe me, all that energy should drown. I've been practicing this. Jab
Right.
se I've been reading about it and
Very
whatever.
well. Very
I
well
would
said.
like to add in something.
Yeah,
I
ma'am.
believe
Chip in.
at very early level, we are teaching our kids the digestive system, the respiratory system, and how the brain, how the eyes works, the function of the eyes. Why we are not teaching them how the brain works?
Exactly, exactly.
Why? Why not? We are not telling them what is the subconscious and what is the conscious. We
Yeah.
need to tell them to find out what are they feeling right now. Is this the feeling of jealousy? Is this the feeling of proud? Or are they happy about it? They should be aware of their own feeling. So this is a dilemma of the society that even a person or even a child has no idea what kind of feeling they are going through. So I believe from a very early level, a child should know their function of the brain. How many hormones are there? What are their impacts on their body? And what is going on? And how they are feeling. If they are feeling angry, how to control it. If they are feeling
Right.
jealousy, how to subside it. If they are feeling
Right.
loved, how to express it. So
Right.
these things has to be taught, and I've talked with Dr. Tariq as well, that psychology has to be taught at very early level.
Right.
And they need to be told how to channelize their emotions. Yeah.
Very well said, Dr. Noor. You explain it beautifully. If these are the things that we need to focus, not in a child or even in our age. Earlier, the Miss Amrit was talking about that we need to learn. Even you was talking about. We need to learn. Don't react everything. Now you need to learn how to not reacting the situation and the kind of arguments. So, any comment from other speakers on the discussion? They are welcome to you chip in, unmute yourself, and jump into the discussion. Also, we are also welcome to our social media participant to please chip in, introduce yourself, let us know that where you are and what is your question. Any question, any suggestion, any comment, any opinion are more than welcome here on this platform.
If I'm allowed, I want to add in something as well.
Yeah, you're sure, ma'am. Go ahead.
I believe mindset, negative mindset, is again channelizing your negative energy. If you're feeling overwhelmed or you're having emotional weight due to your openness or some sort of underneath laying problems, you need to channelize it. If you're feeling negative, how to shift the energy. Like, I'm not feeling negative. I'm not overwhelmed. I did what I felt was right. So if I am jealous, okay, I'm jealous, but I'm not going to express my feelings and I'm not going to hurt that other person. I'm going to do something to come up, to compete. So again, I believe mindset is channelizing the negative energy towards the positive energy. And we need to teach them to the basic level and to the adults as well.
Right. Right, Vakar, please allow हमारे जो online question हो तो please allow them to chip in to the discussion. Meanwhile, we have any comments from the group member. If they have any opinion, suggestion, any comment regarding the discussion to make it more interactive, please, you are welcome. Feel free to.
Dear sir, am I allowed to say something here?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. My name is Mohammad Zubair Khan. I'm working as a clinical psychologist. I have my own setup firm here at Peshawar with the name of Stress Free Life.
So welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. Mindset, as many participants, very learned and competent people had been talking about this subject from their different perspective. That's very good to know about their point of views. Initially, if I would be discussing mindset, then I would say that if first in my mind, which at presently, though I haven't consulted Google or ChatGPT, but it comes to my mind that the preconceived response of the species to a specific situation we can call mindset. And obviously, if that mindset, if there in certain, if you would be talking about negative mindset, then we would say that the responses are dysfunctional, are not based on factual situations.
Right.
So those dysfunctional responses results in negative outcomes and adversely affects ourselves as well as the environment we are interacting with. And when we are talking about positive outcomes, obviously for positive outcomes, I would say that there should be minimum dysfunctional thoughts and misconception while I would interact with the environment. That would be,
Right.
in my opinion, that would be a positive mindset. As we have been discussing, different participants been discussing on this topic, and the discussion drifted towards how we should focus on the upbringing of the children. But as far as the youths are concerned, then I would say that for positive mindset, the most important factor is intellectual growth. And that's what we should incorporate in our colleges and universities. Many of the people who consult with me when they will be talking about their career growth or their problem they are facing in their education or different segments of life, most of the time we assume that we know ourselves, but we do not know ourselves. For
Right.
that, there are now science has developed a lot in human psychology. There is lots of developments, and there are very good tests for that, like MBTI or Big Five test, which can give us a better understanding of ourselves, our unconscious motives, and it provides us sort of a X-ray or ultrasound that what are our strengths, what are our weaknesses, and what opportunities on the basis of our strengths and what threats we can face on the basis of our weaknesses. So I would
Right.
suggest that at college and university levels, these tests should be incorporated. Even there are certain incubation centers in Peshawar. There is one or two, and in different cities there are incubation centers where I think that this idea should be incorporated into their courses, that a person while seeking, going for a business or seeking job or whatsoever career he wants to select in his life, these tests should be incorporated. These should be, a must for them, that they should understand themselves properly, because without understanding myself properly, if I wouldn't know my weaknesses, then I'll be indulging in so many activities where I'll be repeatedly a failure, and that
Right.
failure would turn me into a negative. My mindset would automatically be a negative. I would be disappointed with the situation, with the government, with the people, wheresoever
Right.
I'll be interacting, because my interaction would be based on my weaknesses rather than on my strengths. So I think this is a very important aspect I wanted to suggest to the different participants here and to you as well, that we should do something for that.
Right. Thank you very much, sir.
Wheresoever we will. Yes, sir.
Right. Thank you very
This is-
much. You highlighted very well point that should be introduced in our institution level,
Mhm.
that to address this specific area that is being ignored for a long times. Thank you for this sharing a very important matter, and with us we welcome you again, and we hope you will continue this. We are also working this earlier. The Alliance is working on a different dimensions, on a
Mhm.
career, energy, and we are actually sensitizing the public and in fact the policymaker to
Yes.
you
Yes,
know,
you
cope
can.
up this
That's
situation.
sorry. This is what is my point. That if you have context with the policymakers and different influential people in different segments of the society, there that important segment that science, human psychology has developed a lot. Now we can understand ourselves and the people around us in a more better way. And whenever they are seeking employment or want to start a business or want to become entrepreneurs, they should look
Right.
into these areas, because then they would be more aligned with the society or with their career. And when they will feel more fulfilled. And that fulfillment will ultimately result in their positive mindset.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Any
you so much.
comments from other group members? Any question? Any opinion? They are welcome, and feel free to chip in, unmute yourself, let us know your whatever the opinion you have, because it's very important. We are preparing drafts later on to share with the concerned quarters to how to shape the educational curriculum, our education institution, what are the future needs we have. So every single individual, their opinion, their comment matters a lot. right? This, mind councils, the purpose is to bring some innovative ideas on the different platforms. So if we don't have any question and a comment from the group members, moving ahead towards speaker for their concluding remarks. Starting with Nurulan, what would be your one-liner for this session?
Okay, so actually, before I want to add few points as well as our speaker has added a lot of very informative information about this session and about this topic. But lately we were talking about the impulsive reactions also. So for that, I have a suggestion that in today's era that we have very fast-paced our routine. So we have to do a meditation daily. It helps a lot. And also,
Right.
we have to, as our fellow member, Mr. Zubair, has said that we don't know actually about ourselves. So if the person, he or she is feeling low or they are overcoming with the negative thoughts, so they have to talk to themselves. First of all, we need to work on ourselves, that why I am uh, getting these kind of vibes or thoughts in my mind, why I am thinking that I am the victim. And when we have impulsive reaction, when somebody give us constructive criticize us, so we give very sometimes negative reaction to that. So we have to
Right.
think and process about that. Let's say if this opinion I give to others, so what would be my intentions? Or maybe there are some area I have to work on, because we in our mind we are the best, but this is not the case. We are the humans, so there are good and bads in ourselves. And the last point is that we have to conduct in-depth, more detailed orientations and sessions for our audience, because it is a vast topic. It cannot be covered in 1 or 2 hour webinar. So we have to, because I was listening to my all speakers, they have lot of knowledge, but it cannot be covered in this session.
Yeah, very well said. We have more session because this council is designed for this specific, objective to achieve these goals. So we have more session, and you are the part of this council. You will definitely will let you know that the coming session, and you will actually the planning will be involved to plan the coming sessions. So moving ahead towards Shamoon, what would be your one-liner for this session?
Well, thank you very much. I would just say that the session, I've learned a lot of things, and that's what we are here for, discussing and making other people learn from these things as well. Awareness, just like Nurulain mentioned, that it cannot be one day thing. It should be carried on, and also just like Mr. Zubair Khan has said over here, incorporating these kind of stuff into the curriculum and arranging some kind of tests for children or mid-aged youth to benefit from these kind of stuff. I think that's practical. We can work on it. I think the council can arrange these kind of sessions and also work towards the practicality and force these things into the curriculums of our different provinces and the children's day-to-day school-going children's learning and taking out from these kind of things. So I'd say that informative session, Nurul Lane, Ms. Amrit, Zubair Khan, Rana Saab, Dr. Noor, and Mr. Shabir, you yourself, we've learned a lot, and let's see how it goes. And
Oh,
very
thank you very
positive
much for
session.
putting energy. So thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Let's go with
Of
it,
course,
and
we're
let's do
having a more
better.
session. We are planning to materialize this, whole concept of mind empowerment on ground. This is not
Yeah.
that we are talking. This is how we are talking to get the ideas. Later on,
Exactly.
the later we are going on ground, we have very talented speaker that will deliver in schools, institutions, and colleges. And Sheila, in coming days, you will see it some concrete step that the
Inshallah,
Alliance
inshallah.
Mind Council is going to take it.
Inshallah.
So
More power to Alliance Mind Council.
right.
Let's do greatness.
Yeah, thank you,
That
Shumun.
was all from me.
Aksa Khan, ma'am, what is your one-liner for this topic?
Sure. So I am very grateful for being a part of this session. And just a few things that are practical approaches that I would like to add before leaving, which I kind of, not being a part of something professionally towards science, but things that I have implemented in my life. And I would like to really discuss it before leaving. that we need to be more positive as a society. So, for instance, like we need to compliment our people. We need to, if I meet somebody today and I see a nice shirt, maybe just tell them. It's not that difficult, it's going to make their day, it's going to make them smile, it's going to make them compliment somebody else the other day. So that is a form of having a positive mindset, and we need to be that as a nation. We need to be that as a successful growing society, is that these are very small things, but they hardly take a minute, but these are very impactful. Learning how to compliment parents, students, teachers, just compliment anybody. And even if you don't like them, we always find something good in even in the people we don't like. So just tell them that, maybe it will remove the grudges you have for them. Maybe it will make you a better or bigger person and allow you to work with people, even those whom you don't find very nice. And then take 5 minutes before responding. Like, just make this a habit and then increase it over time. Maybe take just 5 minutes, maybe take a pause before responding. And when you wake up, just tell yourself that you're just trying. You're not a
Right.
perfectionist. It's something that I believe our society is focused on perfectionism. We don't accept mistakes. We don't give the other person the space. We always want to speak the right. We always want to dress the right. We always want to see the right. So leave perfectionism and create this ground for people to experiment and allow them to channel their energies from negativity to positivity. They might fail, they might collapse, but just at least give them that space. So I guess that's one thing that we can learn from this session,
Right.
and
Thank
work
you.
towards
Thank
ourselves.
Very, very important thing that you highlighted in your one-liner. Thank you very much, Aksa Khan. We lucky to have you, the people like you that are very innovative. Brana Umar, what would be your one-liner?
जी मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि हमने अगर दुनिया में जितने भी बड़े लोग देखे हैं उनमें से एक भी ऐसा नहीं देखा जो नेगेटिव माइंडसेट के साथ चला हो। ग्रेटनेस की बात कर रहा हूँ। नेगेटिव माइंडसेट के साथ कभी आप खुद भी ग्रो नहीं कर सकते और अपने साथ जो कनेक्टेड लोग हैं उनको भी ग्रो नहीं करवा सकते। दुनिया में
Right.
जितने बड़े लोग गुजरे हैं वो सब के सब पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट के साथ थे। दूसरा मैं इसमें कहूंगा कि इसमें एक सिंपल सा सेंटेंस है, शिफ्ट योर फोकस। अगर आप किसी की
Right.
किसी से जेलस है, व्हाई यू आर जेलसिंग, शिफ्ट योर फोकस।
Right.
जब भी कोई आपके जहन में ऐसी चीज है जो नेगेटिविटी लाए, शिफ्ट योर फोकस। आप
Right.
अपना फोकस, अगर बहुत ज्यादा एंजाइटी है, बैग उठाएं, घूमने चले जाएं पहाड़ों में, दोस्तों के साथ ग्राउंड में खेलने चले जाएं। हम असल में मसला ये है, हमारे इर्द गिर्द 80% लोग वो होते हैं जो नेगेटिव कमेंट्स कर रहे होते हैं। आप नहीं भी सोच रहे होते तो नेगेटिविटी की तरफ चले जाते हैं। इफ समवन इज डिस्कसिंग समवन और उसमें जेलसी और बाकी एस्पेक्ट आ रहे हैं, शिफ्ट योर फोकस, स्टार्ट थिंकिंग इन अनदर वे। तो बस मेरा एक सेंटेंस आखिर में है जो काफी हेल्प कर सकता है, शिफ्ट योर फोकस, तो चीजें बहुत अच्छी हो जाएंगी।
Very well said, Umar. You explained very beautifully in a one-liner. Shift your focus, as many of speaker was talking about, and they were of the view that activities are important. And when you are in a panic situation, as Umar very nicely said, shift your focus. आपको change करना चाहिए. That will help you a lot. Amjad Sahiba, what is your one-liner for this topic?
My one-liner would be कि everything starts at home, and your body being your first home, we need to clean it. And
Right.
अगर हमारे अंदर, if you don't have that positivity inside us, we will not be able to give it out. We will shift that. We always shift the energy. Nooralain was talking about this thing. We shift that energy. If we are not positive, we're going to give out negative vibes and negative energies. Start cleaning up this house and everything is going to be fine. And
Right.
especially one more thing I would like to add is look at everyone as yourself. क्योंकि हम लोग अपने बारे में we never
Right.
think negative. If we start looking at everyone as, if I start looking at all of you as Amrit, I am not going to think anything negative, because
Right.
we always think
Right.
that we are positive. So that's
Right.
just a tip from my
Very,
side.
very well
Perfect.
said, Amrit Seva. You explain it beautifully in a few lines, in a few words, that positivity is the most important thing. Don't think that you have a lot of, enemy. Think you have a lot of friends. You will improve yourself among the community and grow. So, Dr. Noor Huda, what is your, ma'am, thought on this for in a few lines for you?
Well, I want to be more practical about it. I believe we should not only teach students the physiology or anatomy of the brain function, and we should not only tell them that change your perspective. We need to tell them or teach them the ways how to shift your energy, the practicality of
Right.
shifting. Yeah. I believe I'm done.
Right. Okay. Okay. Very well said. Very brief. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your opinion and for this wonderful session. In coming days, you as acting as things in coming days. Before I would end this session, I would ask to Mr. Tara Khan for the for vote of thanks. If Mr. Tara Khan is with us.
Okay, thank you very much, Shabir.
Sir, welcome you. And
yes, I'm listening, and it was really a wonderful session. Listening to you all, quite learned a few things new, and much more was reiterated in a very brief and very witty way. So it was really a pleasure to listening to all you people, because we are actually talking about self. And so somebody somewhere said that why these lover can't get bored of each other. So the answer was that because they are talking about themselves. So that's why they don't get bored. So
Right.
this is was a certain sense of a topic that actually we were talking about ourselves. So it is never boring in that sense. So there is the larger aspect to it, as Dr. Noor Huda put it, that and what is the purpose of this council, that we are seeing that the mental depressions and mental problems are getting worse. We are seeing that even normal people, as they are growing, they don't have any mechanism to cope with their emotional disturbances and their cognitive biases. So this is very wise of all the members who suggested that we should focus on this in a systematic way, right, starting from home, from schools, from primary to the highest level, and then even to the university, and even in the mid age level, there are actually times when sometime this is actually self is not just something which you learn a skill. It is a skill which you have to work whole of your life on. Mind is actually a live thing, and every day it comes up with new problems and new emotional disturbing, new cognitive biases. When you buried one, you resolve one, there would be new tomorrow. So you need to work constantly on it. And the constantly working on it, as somebody probably Nurulan suggested, that there should be daily mechanism. I must confess you to people that even at this age, I started like thinking about these things when I was very young, just like 12 or 13 year of age. When I was 17 and 18, I was fully into it. I was studied a lot of psychology and a lot of self-help books and a lot of books, Dale Carnegie and Bertrand Russell, and even in that age. So as Nurulan put it, I still do, like, most of my time spent is in this handling my mind instead of doing my work. My work like takes, if I can put it, like 60 or 70%, like 30% or 40% of my time is still spent on managing myself. Because if I'm not doing that, I would not be able to do the productive work even. So this is not by chance that even in the religions, it is a lot suggested that you should daily talk to yourself and your creator. I mean, these are the same things. We whatever the religions are talking, have thought through millennia. These are the same things. Talking to the universe, talking to your creator, talking to yourself, and all the religions stress that a huge portion of your day should be allocated to this, because that is the only way to keep yourself sane. This is not just like one time you, maybe in future, when the science reached to a level that they can change our mind through a chip, and they put like some neuron and permanently just like settle them. So maybe, but for the time being, we need to daily work on this mind and set. But the sad aspect is that majority of the people even doesn't know these techniques, and most of the time they are in depressions or they are harming themselves, because when a negative emotions or a negative energy arises, it goes either you are harming yourself, those introvert sort of a people, or you are harming other people. So there is no other way. It has to end up in these two ways. So the best way would be to intervene, that you should not harm yourself and you should not harm any other person. So it was a very, we would be keeping on talking about these things, inshallah. And as you are seeing, we are structuring it. We are going to design curricula for this purpose. We are going to teach it. And our larger objective is to make it part of the curricula. At the school level, at the university level, this should be a subject, a very compulsory subject, a must subject, which should be taught in the schools, and to that, like how to handle yourself. And so this is the primary objective of this council. So we would be seeing each other, more of each other. And as inshallah, we are making progress. So we would be growing and making progress together. Thank you very much once again, all of you, for such a wonderful session.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tarak Khan, for your time and sharing us with brief insights about this topic that is very, very important. As you mentioned, that mental health is compromising and is going worse day by day, and it has to be addressed right from the house and towards and your educational institution, and we have to be introduced a curriculum that should address this specific area. So I would like to thank again to Dr. Nurul Huda and Dr. Nurul Ain, Umar Farooq Saab, Shamoon, Mr. Shamoon, Aqsa Khan, Muzammal Ansari, Dr. Tarak Khan and online participant. अगर हम इसके takeaways की बात करें तो that is the only takeaways, that you should focus your things more positively. And to cope up the negativity, you need to learn the ways, or you need to cope up the negativity. Either you need to create activity, you need people. What are the audience you need to cope this situation that brings more positive energy to cause and kill this your negative approach, negative thinking. So these are the negative, these are the takeaway of this session, that please do focus on your surrounding, do focus on your friend, do focus on your activity. That would really help you out to this negative energy to turn it to the positive thing. Thank you very much, tamam speakers, online participants and guests in office. Thank you.